that bumbling dad that, I'll let my daughter answer for me on that one. I don't know enough about abortion to give you an answer. Here's Hope Walls. The sitcom dad phenotype.
Homer Simpson retard, jail.
So jail, prison, jail.
And that's the thing, we're going to get to this in the migrant section, all the Somali stuff, but there is a thing where, like, we expose all the fraud, nothing gets done, they keep doing it, we're the retard.
Yeah, that's been actually a long theme.
So, like, everyone needs to go to jail from, like, the lowest level Somali fraudster all the way up to the governor. And if he doesn't, then we're, like, allowing it, and that's the bigger problem. And obviously, I'm sure you guys have figured this out. This type of fraud is happening all over the country.
New York, California.
Home
health aides, feeding kids, anything you can get a large number of children purported to be doing, it's going to get scammed.
It's all in Ohio and Maine, and every Somali is a criminal.
Yes. We saw someone, or a potential criminal maybe.
Or knows what's going on, doesn't say anything. That's illegal too.
And I think, what is it, 80% of Somalians are on welfare?
Yeah.
How does that happen? We're going to get to that later, I guess.
We're going to get to that in the migrant section. Okay. Let's go on to our next story. This is the one you liked a lot.
Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy came out with another op-ed, basically, an opinion article. He's writing a lot of those. He's typing a lot.
He's on the computer.
Yeah,
speed out.
He was busy over break. Social media is a trap for politicians. I'm swearing off Instagram and X, where it's too easy to get a distorted sense of the public's concern, by Vivek Ramaswamy in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, ignore your criticisms. Those are just outlandish extremists.
Those are bots and foreigners. They don't count for anything. I don't have to listen to them, basically, is what Vivek said. But we bullied Vivek off social media, and we need to bully him out of politics forever. You can go scam in pharma. Go do whatever you do in pharma, bro. Stay away from running the fucking country or some of our major states, right?
Very true. All right, over the weekend, Mandami got inaugurated on the Quran. And then there was a ceremony, and here's a clip from one of the speakers.
I'd like to dedicate this poem to my trans, queer, foreign students of color at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Not even hiding it, and
He's telling it. My trans, foreign, of color, right?
And this is something that, like, if we were writing a joke for a sketch, like a right-wing sketch comedy thing,
too heavy-handed.
It would be too on the nose.
Yeah.
You'd go, it's a little too obvious. It's kind of cliche. It's like the lesbian dance theory joke. It's kind of old. He literally said it day one. He just day one. He just immediately went to it.
I know. You can't even parody these people anymore. They'll do it themselves. Some guy will do it himself. And that's a professor. That's the parody. That's the next thing. He gives people grades. He has power over students in Tennessee.
Yes, professor.
I'm like snapping. I'm snapping already.
And then we covered in Bonus Land a few days ago, Mandami also made a lesbian the fire chief of New York. So, something to look forward to there.
Burnt down houses in the Bronx coming soon.
And then this is the person who he made the housing director. Here's an old clip from her.
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
They're going to take your stuff.
Yes. Different relationship to property than we currently have. White people. That means take your stuff eventually, if she can.
Yeah.
And then
take your stuff.
Yeah, take your stuff. It's simplified. That was a little less heavy-handed. The guy, she's like dressing it up in some almost academic words. Like, collective property. And so someone might go, that sounds good. This guy's like, to transform black people. Also, one thing I wanted to note, just in general, these people, the leftists, remember when there was that massive push during COVID and George Floyd where everybody went crazy with, like, trying to grab as much as they could in terms of, like, anti-white hiring or different sort of rules that would just let a violent black person out? You know how they all changed? There was also a ton of tape put up on Zoom calls. People were saying the dumbest shit possible. I guarantee you this was from almost that era. And then they pulled up the tape. People were Exactly. And on Zoom. So, I mean, we need to scour some of these. Everyone has their horrible Zoom moments, right?
Very true. All right, our next story is about the healthcare industry and how bad it is. We're going to go kind of fast-paced through it, but we do have some good points to make. Can you read that first one?
Yeah, this was new over the break. Tortillas sold in California are going to have a new ingredient, one that's intended to help nurture healthy infants, and it's folic acid.
And then there's a reply of what exactly folic acid is.
Yeah, California Democrats are the dumbest legislators in American history. Adding folic acid to tortillas that no one asked for will be a public health catastrophe. People with the MTHFR genetic mutations cannot process folic acid, and it becomes toxic in their bloodstream.
Then
Interesting.
Then they'll need some health care.
But as for all those Mexican babies ripping tortillas up, that's who we need to make laws for.
And they're making it a requirement to add it to the food, which is just like let people supplement themselves.
Great.
Then there was a federal judge that blocked RFK Jr.'s move to ban artificial food dye.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird.
Interesting.
Artificial food dye, we don't need that.
That's a constitutional.
Actually,
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
With the big nails.
Yeah.
So this is her.
This is who did it.
Yeah.
And that's who blocked the ban, which is weird because food dye is not, there's no upside. Like, well, it's good for this and bad for this. It's just you're dyeing it with dye.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops don't need to look like that. And then I'm not surprised when you see a federal judge like that make a decision that stops good from happening, considering the people that were put in under Obama and Joe Biden.
Specifically Joe Biden, more so, right?
Joe Biden especially. It's not hard to become a federal judge anymore. And we have some stats here about LSAT scores.
Yeah, among the top LSAT scorers, which is 170 or above, 82.5% are white, 15.6% are Asian, 1.6% are Hispanic, and 0.3% are black. Approximately 80% of all U.S. attorneys are white. And of Biden's 200 federal judges, 37% were white, 42% mix of Hispanic and black, and 14% Asian. So
it's kind of weird where
he cooked the books.
Yeah, 0.3% get high LSAT scores, and then 40-something% of the people you put in are black and Hispanic.
Yeah, and that was literal DEI. The wick on that goes for as long as these people are alive, basically. So Joe Biden stealing the election gave us a bunch of numbskull, unqualified black women. Same thing as Joe Biden when he announced that he was going to pick a black running mate, right? So all these people are DEI people, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, and it results in bad things happening, like the food dye is going to stay in the food. That's a public health issue. And then you have people who are actually going to die in real life, like this next story.
Yeah, this is Judge Joy Kennedy. Earlier this month, she lowered the bail for a repeat violent offender to $5,000 in Cleveland. 5 days later, he killed a man named Ben McComas. And
Very sad.
He looks like Kyler Murray. Looks like a quarterback of the Cardinals.
Yeah. Wow, maybe in a different world.
Killer.
Yeah, if you work
maybe in the same world. Maybe they're both killers. Maybe he's his cousin.
It looks like him. And then we have a clip from that woman doing a podcast, the judge, and this is her motivation for her job.
So I have the experience and I want to serve with compassionate justice. So that's what I want to do. Everybody doesn't need to go to prison, but some people do. Some people do. And you want someone with the temperament and the ability to make that sound decision. And I think I have that.
Well, you don't.
Yeah. She's going to make a gut call on who needs to go to prison or not.
And when she sees a black guy, she goes, I think you're good.
Yeah, I'm compassionate towards him.
Yeah. A white guy, well, it's time to do things a little different.
Yeah, max prison sentence.
Yeah.
All these people are agents of change, too. Like, these people go in there with, like, some ideological thing. It's not to make the world better. It's not to make people safer. It's to make one specific thing happen, and it's, like, less consequences for my brethren.
Mm-hmm. And then, to be honest, that judge and all these people who are put in who aren't qualified, they fall under the useful idiot category.
Oh, certainly.
Like, oh, I'm a judge. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you're a judge.
Yeah, you're the best judge.
You're good. Go
compassionate, right?
Hey, got to let this guy go. He looks like you. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I should. I really should.
And this is happening, like we said, with judges, lawyers, whatever. And it's also happening in the medical field as well. We can't play the music, but this girl made a post. It's her graduating med school. And can you read the caption?
Yeah, it says, when you are applying for medical school, everyone is going to tell you not to apply with a 2.7 GPA and a 498 MCAT because you won't get in. It's important that you apply anyway. And here she is getting her white coat and filming herself at the doctor's office. Just
Now she a doctor.
now she a doctor, and guess what? Your grandpa's gonna go see her, and let's hope they're not a medical malpractice.
And it's funny because a 2.97 GPA.
Yeah,
That was like what my GPA was.
and you had to lie to get a job, basically, or like charm someone.
I charmed, but I wasn't trying to be a doctor.
Yeah, for sure. You were just trying to move hundreds of millions of dollars of fixed income products across banks.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah,
But if you have under a 3.0, it's like, all right, you're not that good at like learning and regurgitating and understanding.
yeah.
Unless you're black, then you could be a doctor.
It kind of shows me something too, because I don't know, medical school, I guess, is not that rigorous. Like there is a little bit of just get through, like no child left behind, but no doctor left behind, because an MCAT that low and a GPA that low, you're not someone with high aptitude for medicine, right?
Very true,
So
yeah.
she kind of got pushed through.
And she'll go, what are you talking about? I got a good aptitude. It's not, you think it's attitude.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our final piece of this. Obviously, the medical industry, bigger
Yeah.
picture.
How are all these related? Because this is kind of like, bad food dye, and then who are the judges? Their DEI, and then who are the doctors? Their DEI.
And then what's going on, the overarching theme of the whole medical industry, bad in general as well. It's all related.
Yeah.
Pharmacia, America's seniors are being over-medicated into oblivion.
Yeah.
And can you read some of the context from the article?
Yeah, this is from the Zero Hedge, and it's referencing a Wall Street Journal article that discovered 1 out of every 6 seniors that is enrolled in Medicare's drug benefit has been prescribed at least 8 different pharmaceutical drugs.
So they're loading them up.
Yeah. The
And-
boomers, it's like a whole experiment
Yeah.
where they're really just going, oh, you're lightheaded? Got a pill for that. Let's add this. Do they mix? Oh, you took a fall, huh? Let's get you off that Lipitor or whatever.
And there's I was talking to my dad about this during the break. There's like a bigger picture to the scam too, where once you're in Medicare or whatever, they just keep churning the billing.
Yeah.
So if you go to the doctor, they'll bill you for a million things, even if you didn't do it. And then a lot of the old people just pay it.
The government's paying too.
And the government pays, taxpayer dollars pay. And then there's situations too. You go to the doctor, he goes, all right, come back in 6 months. And you just ignore that.
Yeah. I know about that.
In the current medical industry, people call you the next day and say, oh, the doctor said he wants to see you in 6 months. How does July 18th work?
They
And
get you on the
they
books.
book you.
That's pretty standard.
And then
though.
you keep coming back.
That's pretty standard dentist shit. Right?
Yeah, but I remember back in the day.
You don't have to go.
They'd say, oh, come back in 6 months. I go, okay, never talk to you again. And now, oh, yeah, the doctor wants to see you in 6 months. How do you pull a date?
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, let's get to our Venezuela section. This is like the story of the last week. You guys all saw the action. You all saw what happened. There's some bigger points we want to make. First, there's a picture of Trump with the team that did it.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
You notice anything?
Obviously, yeah.
It's all white guys.
High aptitude, high skill white men.
There's no fat black women. There's no Indian H-1Bs trying to steal your credit card info.
Yeah. Wait, I think that behind that black block face, I think that's a lesbian fire chief.
Yeah.
No, it's not. She'd be dumpy.
Oh,
the
yeah.
legs of a lesbian fire chief.
That 5'2" fat person must be a lesbian girl. Oh, wait, that's someone on their knees.
No, he's on his knees. He's shredded, and he killed 5 guys before this picture was taken. So whoopsie.
Yeah. So that's the big takeaway. When you need to get a high-level job done, you send in strong white guys. There's a lesson there.
That's actually, guys, that's always been true.
That's the whole country.
That's how the country was built. That's how Europe kind of ran things. That's how we fought Muslims in the Crusades.
That's why we're the best.
You send in white dudes in cavalry.
Yeah.
And now it's a little different. They're in a Black Hawk helicopter. They're in an Apache or something. But yeah, do you want to go high level here? We body snatched a president of a foreign country in our hemisphere, in our backyard, right across the Gulf or the ocean there. We body snatched him.
Yeah. And I want to make this clear. You guys know I'm not, and neither is Richard Rapway. We're not for foreign wars, regime change, endless wars in the Middle East that cost trillions of dollars.
Yes.
We got this done in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, this was a regime change, and it was precision. And I think this has become a theme of Donald Trump's, both of his presidencies, is precision, in and out, shock and awe. Like, he's earned some credibility to have the judgment to get away with one of these, and this was a sick one.
It was a crazy op.
Yeah.
The boys planned it.
The boys, it's months of planning. It's heavy with like CIA on the ground intelligence. like cooperating, telling everybody exactly where to go, what we're going to do, shut down the lights. It was a cool op.
We stole a president.
Yeah.
Like that.
Black bagged him, zipped him up.
We stole him, body snatched.
Yeah.
And we got $17 trillion worth of oil.
Maybe. That's what they're saying, but maybe it's also like Venezuelan oil is like harder to refine or something, but we got some spoils. That's what I'm in it for.
Spoils.
I need spoils when I come
Gold, Bitcoin, oil. We body snatched a president. We lost no men and no equipment.
in. And now everybody's on notice, too.
And that's
There's kind of a hemisphere-wide notice that just went out.
And that's where I'm at. I'm not for regime change. I'm not for foreign interference and all this stuff. But if we can do a hour op and steal a president, let's run Cuba. Let's just take Cuba.
If everyone's scared, that's
Cuba's
good for
right
us.
there.
Cuba never sat right with me. And you know what? Let's hedge this a little bit. You see Lindsey Graham gloating with Trump on Air Force One about it. I don't like that. I don't like when I overlap with the warmongers when they're happy.
Yeah, there's an Israel angle too. I don't want to get into, but
We're not even going to get into it. But
Cuba should be ours, like
Cuba's
Puerto
90
Rico.
miles, 90 miles off the coast, and we just let them antagonize us with Russia for so long. That should have been handled. Same thing, Mexico's on notice, Colombia's on notice, Greenland, that's ours. So there's a little bit of like swagger that comes with doing an op like this. Like I'll equate it to, you know how there's the meme or the storyline, you go into prison, you're a fish, you got to fight the biggest guy you see on day one. You don't have to keep fighting him every day you're in prison forever. Everyone knows not to fuck with you. So this is kind of one of those moments. It felt good. It's like we body snatched him. I can't even remember an op happening like this in the past. So our credit in the hemisphere is up, and we need to do. We took a tanker already. The spoils of war is important for me.
Yeah.
Lost nobody, so I don't care.
And if we steal Cuba next, we can like put them together with Puerto Rico and call them like U.S. affiliate islands. No one votes.
No votes. No one votes.
And we go on vacation. We open a Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, we go. Ritz-Carlton's important. We go on vacation. Cuba's ours.
Yeah.
What's wrong with everybody? Foreign policy's easy.
Especially when it's an hour op. It's not years in Venezuela. It was an hour over the weekend on like a Saturday night. I didn't even notice.
And then in terms of international law, fake and gay international law, it's just anybody can do whatever they want as long as they can. That's it. I remember in undergrad at Dartmouth, I was an international relations major. And I remember they were kind of in one of the high level classes, they were talking about realism versus like liberalism in the worldview. And there's many of different like subsets in the ideology. Realism, and it's like, well, the world is anarchy. The only thing that's respected is power. And then liberalism is like, well, we should all work together and establish a framework and blah, blah, blah. And when I was 18, 19, young man, and I go, which one rings true? Power is wherever it's taken from? Or Europe and America work together and create an international court?
Yeah, that's
We ignore
so
that
true.
shit.
We ignore that shit.
So-
it's crazy that we can snatch a president and we can't even deport Kilmar Abreu Garcia or whatever.
That's just the lopsided fucking dice that a president has. Like basically blank check, foreign influence, and then some black Biden judge when you need to deport a fucking MS-13 guy.
All right, and our last piece I want to talk about.
Slightly blackpilling.
Yeah, it is. There is another angle to this too. Like, I'm hoping that this is Maduro's going to cooperate. He's doing thumbs up in those pictures. Maybe there's a timeline where he cooperates, talks about the CIA stolen election stuff. And it's the same stuff that WikiLeaks talked about. Venezuela is like where they host a lot of the voting machine tech stuff.
Smartmatic. The
Smartmatic.
Venezuelan-owned Smartmatic Corporation is a riddle both in ownership and operation, complicated by the fact that its machines have overseen several landslide and contested victories by President Hugo Chavez.
So it would be sick if he is cooperating, he exposes that, we get a resolution on 2020 election fraud, like what Sidney Powell was talking about.
You're dreaming.
And hopefully he'll testify against the deep state, and we're currently keeping him in the same prison as Epstein.
Yes.
So hopefully it goes a little better than last time.
Oh, whoops. I fumbled and there's a gun in his door. And actually something that we're not going to cover in this episode, but it came out right as we were breaking, is like the Fulton County, Georgia bullshit numbers.
Yeah.
Didn't something happen there where like 300,000 ballots weren't signed appropriately?
Yeah.
And you, the American voter who was disenfranchised by Joe Biden, thus incurring all those black judges, you find out 5 years later. Mm-hmm. Fuck you.
And there's like 300,000 questionable ballots, and the election came down to like 20,000 votes. So it's like Joe Biden lost by like 280,000, and then they have like 20,000 extra or whatever. So that was frustrating. And then Trump actually tweeted a video of like the election workers doing that weird handoff.
Yes.
Which I made a video about in 2020. And that's the same people that Rudy Giuliani accused of malpractice or whatever. And then he got sued and lost everything. So that's all coming back around.
Yeah.
I rewatched some of those old election fraud videos I did, and we got them pretty good. And everything that we talked about ended up coming true in the last few months. Trump's been tweeting the exact stuff we were talking about.
Yeah. Don't let him gaslight you.
Don't let him gaslight you.
And that's another trend I'm noticing. Like, how long have we been talking about Somali fraud? And we're going to get into it, right? But then it seems like the Nick Shirley video, and like it hit a breaking point. So there's like months of groundwork that happens in the background of right-wing Twitter, right-wing thinkers. And sometimes it's like weird because I'm like, yeah, I knew all that fraud was happening. Yeah, I knew they were charging for 4,000 kids a day, and we make like reels on this shit. Mm-hmm. And then it finally reaches a tipping point, and I don't know. It's just like, it seems like the track record is good.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts. Don't get gaslighted. Our track record is good in general. The right way.
We know what's going on. Yeah. And then our last piece is a tweet I thought was funny.
Well, yeah, Maduro's he's being held in the Southern District of New York, that region. And this guy said, Trump sticking Maduro in an NYC jail immediately after Mamdani becomes mayor, saddling him with this commie albatross that his libtard base will constantly hector him over while he's able to do absolutely nothing about it is so fucking funny.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of our Venezuela section. Let's move on to our migrant section.
Yeah.
Unless you have any other pieces.
Oh, Venezuela, this guy, he rigged elections. Maduro rigged elections. His people are starving. Venezuela was basically the worst offender of sending the shittiest people to America during the Biden weakness. Fuck this country. They all need to go back. We're going to run the country, but, really just install a puppet who's like heavily impressed by the CIA. Heavily handled by the CIA. Whether or not you trust the CIA to do it is kind of up for debate. But yeah, I don't know. Clean up. I don't fucking care. I trust Trump these days to do something quick, clean, and not over leveraged. Right?
Yeah.
So
what if we send all the migrants to Venezuela?
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. And I have a feeling some fat, loud, painted nails judge is gonna say no to that.
That's so true. All right, let's get to our migrant section. That's where we're at now. First, Trump tweeted stats of welfare recipients based on ethnicity.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Somalia, 71%. Yemen Arab Republic, 75%. Bhutan, 81%. The Marshall Islands, the Dominican Republic, all high. Congo, Guinea, Cape Verde, Iraq, Armenia. You know which countries are shit, guys. They're the same countries that show up in the rape statistics in England. They're the same that show up in the Who Ruined Germany section, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy because these people don't add a lot of value when they get here. And not only do they not add value, they're taking value away, which is obviously different than the relatives of us who were immigrants who came here generations ago. They came here with no safety net.
And then there's been a lot of talk about this, like, obviously it shouldn't happen. If you don't pay into the system, you can't take from the system. But they do, and they're stealing our birthright, Think about people who've been here for generations. Their parents, that's not how it is. Like, it's real birthright shit. We watch Tim Walz squander surplus to squander that down to Somali fraud. It's like, that was your birthright. So it's numbers, it's welfare, it's everything else in the house.
joke. It's funny. It's the real, she's the lieutenant governor.
Our job's not even hard. These guys do this shit for us. They make you easy. Like you're fighting against someone who's, I don't know, 100 pounds less than you. They're all hard. And the point is, that's a lot of Americans.
And then someone was playing tweets and all turning this over into enhanced retail is actually very good.
Yeah, they'll do this for a backwards third world country.
With the Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, they're all ugly, dysgenic, and they're robbing us. And that makes us more retarded than them.
Yeah, and then what do they do with the money? They buy expensive glasses and Louis bags, cars.
So they are black a little bit. I like to separate them from blacks because they're like a Muslim, Eastern Horn of Africa type. But when it comes to the looting and the plundering, they just buy luxury goods like our Americans.
It's true. I get it. And then, like you said, here's the person saying what happened. Someone broke in and stole all the documents.
Of what they say vandals did. Now, this is where they say the vandals got into the daycare through cinder block. And here's the
daycare.
Other than the specific fraud paperwork. And they took it.
stole it. Oh, shit. Someone stole the proof that we have all these kids here.
How am I going to prove that?
That would work in Somalia with everyone else, maybe, but we're not Somali, so we don't believe it. And then I found this, a translation for I run a daycare center. It is not fraudulent. Can you read what it is in Somali?
Waksan Mamula Sauron Zana. Aha Wax Kiano. Keep it in the heart of Africa, brother. No, not Minneapolis, not Columbus, Ohio, not in Maine.
Very true. Yeah. And then here's the energy of a lot of Somalis. I want to make a broader point. Listen to how this girl describes the accusations of fraud.
Everyone cares because people just love to be here because we shouldn't be illegal when this is literally stolen land.
So she's got the talking points.
No one's illegal. It's stolen land. Must be a what? Third, fourth grader, something like that.
So that's the energy.
They learn those lessons very quickly once they get to America, right?
And they have a very entitled energy where they think they're better than us because we're bad people. So they're justified to steal from us if they can, especially considering we're not Muslims. We're basically like the Muslim version of Goyim.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, they're bad and they stole the land and they do all this bad stuff, so we're going to steal back. And if they don't catch us, like, haha, I'm going to go buy a Louis bag. Yeah. Like, that's literally how they see it. They have like an entitlement to it. And there's an energy where there's no appreciation. They think like if they can, they will, and then that's our fault because we're stupid and fat.
And no matter how dumb an ethnic group is, it's very easy to figure out. You play the race card, you play the libtard card, and you're
Like, it's like communism, social Marxism, and you don't have to get into anything like that. But we know. And then we have welfare rates in the U.S. and Minnesota by household. This is like a per capita by race, I guess.
We've actually shown this before in Somalis.
Somalis is the black bar. Somali immigrant households is the gray bar as well. And then native households is the one that looks like this color.
The only difference between the Somalis are in the U.S. more than 10 years, and it's not much of it. So they're just fucking lifers. They're scammer lifers.
And it proves it's not about like getting on your feet and then you start off in America and get off the
I
program.
just need a leg up.
Yeah.
I'm a Somali who just needs a leg up. 10 years later, where's my fucking monthly food stamp check?
So
Fucking infidel.
like that graph proves that the social welfare program does not work.
Yeah.
All right, next we have this lady who's talking about the Leering Center guy, and she makes an interesting point.
Am I going crazy, or is this the same guy? The manager of the Immigrant Learning Center in Minneapolis, also one of the guys that was raising in the back of DayZ election victory video, the one that went super viral.
That's all I want to point out. It's the same guy who is in the background, and my opinion, it's because gravity for 7 seconds. You read the rest of it?
Yeah, no, I don't want to. But it says, does the U.S. believe that not only the 600 gravity for 7 seconds? Is this why subterranean tunnels and vaults are being built? Is it also
pak het even kanker in.
The dog knows that she's doing a bit, though. Might be, but the dog knows that the owner of this falsely accused of crime is playing out the court. That's the chaos.
That's the anxiety of the dog. The lack of experience. But I kind of feel like she's jumping.
Yeah, we have more.
this is one of the same Planet Fitnesses, right? This is like Planet Fitness that also had a trans person in the locker room, and now there's a guy stroking his shit. And we even show this?
Well, we had to blur it a little bit. We had to blur the shadow a little bit.
So it's a guy's feet underneath the stall, visibly stroking his shit.
Yeah, that's what's behind the blur. And then we can fast forward a little bit to the confrontation.
I've never talked to anybody. I've never done it.
The guy pretending to be a girl is kind of defending himself.
You're better off using that bathroom though, because she felt uncomfortable.
I understand. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
He's saying he's uncomfortable.
You were really comfortable touching your shit. Bro, I literally saw your shadow, bro. Like,
Well, listen.
come on, dog.
Listen.
Touching your
You saw
shit.
my shadow, that doesn't mean anything. I was in here.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I think this girl's boyfriend comes in.
Yeah.
Bro, we have a video of what you were doing, bro. The shadow says it all, bro. Don't act innocent, bro. I saw the fucking video. I was on FaceTime watching you, bro. That's fucking crazy work, bro.
All right,
Confronted.
you have a podcast, don't you? Yeah, no, this guy, and we'll show you some video at the end. It's just like a visible man, barely even drying, stroking his shit in the women's locker room.
He said he was drying off.
Because he gets off on it, and you got caught. And then there's like a denial/stand your ground that has to be done. But we all know what happened, right?
Yeah.
So typical degenerate trans type behavior, stroking your shit in a Planet Fitness locker room.
Not good.
That's desperate man. You know, a desperate man who has to stroke his shit somewhere else or really has to get desperate. That's what you do. And you might tell people you're a lady, but we know what you are.
You're getting off.
You're a desperate man.
All right, our last story from Cringe of the Week is just an article headline I saw that I thought was